Did you know that before the crowbar was invented, crows used to drink at home? Congratulations on, or great New Year's Eve tonight, on the time of recording this video. We're going into 2026. Time flies when, insert reference here or something. So I wanted to make this video about what's coming in 2026 for Old School Runescape, because that's kind of the whole purpose of my RuneScape YouTube channel. Like it would be weird if I was talking about what's coming for like 2026, economics or world policy or something like that. So we'll do this one on Old School RuneScape. So if that interests you at all, then feel free to keep watching. And this is stuff that's confirmed, stuff that's rumored, and then after that, speculation. I guess we can talk a little speculatory if time permits. There's always time. I get to pick how long this video is, and right now I've wasted a minute of your life. So thanks for watching that. If you enjoy this stuff, comment and then like and whatever else. So here's what we got. There's a page in the wiki called what is it called? Upcoming updates. So this is where a lot of our info is housed, but they've kind of like left some stuff out, and I think they do that on purpose to tease people. So we got this roadmap in March 2025, and it gives you a lot of good stuff. We're going to get another one on January 25th when they have their big winter reveal of everything coming this year. Until then, here's what we know, basically. So they've already said Deadman is coming. That is going to be coming out near the end of January. And then Blood Moon Rises. So everything else that they said, it came out. We got the Sailing Alpha. We actually got Sailing, and it actually came in autumn, which was kind of, when you think about that, that's kind of crazy. Summer Sweep Up, Varlamore, Yama. Down here, Project Xanaris, that got scrapped. That was going to be RuneScape private servers. That was scrapped. And then some other stuff, HD and the API and whatever else. We'll probably get an update on that soon. So, yeah, basically all of this info that's on here, we're going to just, we've opened up some other tabs and stuff to look at this. So on the 30th of January, we'll be getting Deadman. And to keep this very quick, Deadman mode is a PvP only world. Like it's a new server like a league where you've got experience and drop rates that are expedited to speed you up. There's some special relics that are pretty cool that help you, fight stuff better. Like you can get a relic that makes your attack speed be like 2 ticks instead of 4 or whatever it is. So there's stuff like that. Big change with this one, if you've played this before and you know how it works. When you die, so like a player kills you, you used to lose everything you were wearing plus the 10 most valuable things out of your bank. So it was like awful to die. And they're now changing that for this league, or for this Deadman. You're only going to lose the stuff on you. Everything in your bank is safe. So this changes, like genuinely, this changes everything. So now you can like, okay, I want to go kill some barrows, and I'm just going to bring an air staff and some lobsters in a prayer pot. So like if I die, doesn't matter. So this is going to be like very user friendly. And the PKers are going to probably enjoy this as well, because you want the worlds to be packed with people to fight, and now it will be. So Deadman's Chest is another update coming with this, where when you kill something, it'll drop a chest. You then can open that chest for an item, which takes a minute to open. So you're a sitting duck for a minute while you open this thing, and someone can attack you and whatever else. And you can get some crazy rewards. There's going to be relics that you can buy from a store using points. Every time you kill like a PvM monster or do a quest or whatever, you get points, and then you can buy stuff with it. You can skip entire quest lines. So if you haven't played one of these before, I honestly highly recommend this one. This is like going to be the perfect one to try as your first, just with the way they've adjusted the rules to make it super simple. The next thing coming is called Blood Moon Rises. This is the last quest in the Vampirium quest line. Think like Sins of the Father. We had Sins of the Father. That felt like the final one because you get access to Darkmire. Well, this apparently is going to give us access to Vampirium, as we can see right here. And if we actually open what is Vampirium, there's lots of history and stuff on the wiki, but we don't know what's going to be there. And we don't know what the rewards are and anything like that, but you've got all the requirements and stuff that are on here. Items required, unknown, recommended. It's going to be a very long quest. This is like, think of like Prif quest. Think of Dragon Slayer 5 quest, you know what I mean? It's going to be a big one. So This usually unlocks some really big content, such as some, solo bosses. Think of like the Gauntlet, think of Vorkath, stuff like that. It's now just a matter of what is it going to drop and what else is there. I had an idea. So there's Game Jam is something that they've done, and we'll get into that in a bit too. These mods worked on a thing called a blood jelly, it's a big blood jelly. Let's see if we can look at this a little better here. Like, what are we looking at here? You got a player, and then you got a huge jelly made of blood. So their idea in the game jam was you take blood-related items like blood runes, blood shards. I don't know, what were they called? The blood essence, stuff like that. You put them in a hopper, and then you create a boss that is just a thing of blood. And then they will drop blood shards for you. So I guess you wouldn't put a blood shard in to get a blood shard back. Who knows? So that was a thought that I maybe had, like, coming with the Vampire Quest line. Is like they talked about this a while back, and like maybe they're gonna bring it, but who knows? Okay, so at the end of the roadmap, this was like they did a big presentation presenting all of this. After everything was presented, they said, "Oh, and by the way, Raids 4 is under production," and everyone went crazy. So it's been almost a year since then. It's been like 9 months since they made that announcement. You better believe they're going to have something for us on January 25th. They're going to tell us where they're at with Raids 4. Maybe they confirm a release date. If I had to guess, now they do a ton of big updates. The best time for their updates that they do is like summer. They do a big thing because a lot of people are off school and like taking vacation, and it's just like feel good time to like, grind some RuneScape. As well as November. November is pre-holidays. You're still able to take some time off work and whatever else. Like, it's just some good times for getting some big updates, and they tend to do those big things with that. They did a Gridmaster in like late October, if I'm not mistaken, or early November, and then Sailing came out, and then like every year before that, that was when the League was in November. It was like 3 in a row. They had the big update was in November. So if I had to guess, I would say that we're getting Raids 4 maybe around here. I think that could make sense. So what do we know about Raids 4? They said on a podcast recently that it is going to be Theater of Blood 2, the Theater of Bloodening, Extra Blood, featuring Theater. They didn't say that, but what they did say is they strongly alluded to no skilling rooms for this raid, which is like amazing. The skilling rooms are completely and utterly pointless, and plugins solve them for you. So like, why are we wasting our time? Just, I want to go in and kill 6 bosses in a row and then have a big end boss or something. I think that would be the best way of doing it. So yeah, Theater of Blood, perfect. The method of like those bosses, I don't care if they're like scrambled like a different order every time, like Chambers of Zarek. I would actually probably like that because it changes things and makes it feel a little different. But if they had them so they're the exact same order every time too, I'm very game for that. No need for like the puzzle rooms or anything like that. That kind of makes it complicated. So Raids 4, they're gonna probably have something on Raids 4 for us. And they definitely have confirmed that it's coming, and that they're building it now. I hope with like Tombs of Amasket, they made it so it was as user friendly as possible. They did the same thing with Theater of Blood. They made the easy mode for it. They've made changes to Chambers to make it easier as well. They want as many players to take part in these updates as possible. But I honestly think to make the best possible raid, you have to make it endgame. Theater of Blood, like no one completed it for days on release. Days. It was so awesome to watch the race on Twitch of all the teams getting super close. There was a team that got down to 0.1% HP left on Verzik and then died, and we were like, oh my god, they're so close to they had to reset and go again. Like, that was like peak memory of Theater of Blood release. It was like at the end of day 1, no one had made it past Nilo or something like crazy like that. So pretty sweet. I really look forward to Raids 4. Like, they got to hit it out of the park though. TOA is fun and it has its good moments and everything else. It just like I don't think many people's favorite raid is TOA. So there's just a little bit of miscalculation on that one, especially with the drop rates. Oh my god, please, for the love of God, don't do anything like that ever again. So that brings us into our next point. So that's raids 4. Leagues 6. We had Leagues 5, League 6. We had a little grid master and it was great. So this was an email sent to someone about RuneScape Leagues Catalyst. It's just like a promotional email. And then they said, while our own league is in pre-production and we'll have more news to share with you early next year, we thought this news might interest you. So that was just someone got this email about confirming that Leagues is in production. And they've also mentioned this on podcast. I couldn't find that anywhere. It's also not like listed in the wiki's upcoming updates or anything like that. But yeah, League 6 coming. I don't want to get into too much like speculating like what that would be or how it works or anything. I just want there to be group Ironman for it. How fun would that be, playing a league where you can play as a hardcore, or you can play as a UIM, or you can play as like a group of 5, group Ironman or something like that. It's already a temporary game mode. Who cares if people burn out after a day and quit? Like it's just, you can opt into that. I would probably play it as a regular until I complete the league, and then all right, let me squat up with some guys and play that. I don't know, just an idea that I had. It could be kind of fun. Next up, confirmed stuff about sailing. So yeah, 11.5 minutes before mentioning sailing. Pretty sweet. I liked the sailing release. I thought it was great. When you think about it, it's really, everything is bare bones, everything is bare minimum, and they did a great job with setting the foundation for everything. They obviously sent out a survey in-game, actually. It was a long one, and they're trying to gather like what are the priorities for sailing, and I'd be shocked if people didn't lead them towards saying PvM is a priority. The PvM for sailing right now is in my opinion, a flop. It's the equivalent of you got a character wearing a dragon scimitar and full rune, and he goes up and just starts chopping some guards in Falador. Like, that's it. And the guards have a 1 in 3,000 chance of dropping a unique. Like, that's all sailing is, the end game of PvM for that. There's no mechanics, there's nothing. So that's where I think the potential lies. I would like them to make a big update to sailing, like boat combat and stuff early, so that they can start working on actual end game PvM encounters and stuff like that. So what they've listed here, this is from the wiki that they've actually listed. This was part of a blog. So they're going to have in early 26, they're going to have a new quest, second Tortugan quest. They've talked about how they're going to have a third of that quest line, but it's too far away. There's no point in even talking about it. They're going to have a new type of port task. That is pretty sweet. Yeah, I think they can definitely do more with the port tasks. I was actually ripping some port tasks yesterday, and they're pretty chill way of training this skill, but I want like engagement. I want some more like fun or something. So I wish there was a port task called, like, instead of delivering stuff and picking up stuff, I wish there was a way of being like port rescues, and they tell you like, hey, we've heard that there's a castaway in the southwest expanse, and then you boat over there, you look for it, you find it, and you bring it back to port, and you get some XP, something like that. It's similar to port tasks. It's just reskinned to feel different. So you could pick up a bunch of port tasks, and then you could also go and do your castaway task like along the way or something, and combine the XP rates. Just a thought. Summer, they're going to have a small scale boss at sea. So when we go back to our upcoming updates, yeah, that makes sense. In the summer, they usually do a big one, like some sort of a big update, and then the fall they do some sort of big update, like 3 months later. So if they did like a huge sailing update, like a boss, they do a player designed island, and they drop all of that like in the summer, like July, that makes sense, like for the timeline of how they usually release things. So yeah, they need a boss at sea. They need some way of groups of people, like me and the friends, me, the boys, we jump in our boats, we go down, we start fighting something. I think that would be pretty sweet. I would love for it to be kind of like Stars, where things are like in random places. Like let's say it's like a megalodon, and it's like it swims around. It's not just stationary, and you gotta find it as a group, and then you start killing it as a group, something like that. I think that'd be good. Okay, so yeah, the player designed island. I wanted to kind of show quickly in our game jam spot here. This is a mini game that they talked about. I don't need to go too much into details there, but if this comes, don't be surprised. It was this troll Fremenic based quest, not quest, mini game, where they did a lot of work on it. You can see they fleshed out like a ton of the things, and they like literally worked on like his attacks and like everything. So now this is what I was going to talk about: player-owned lodge and fragrant harvest mini games. So a bunch of mods worked on this, and they did like they built it in game. So you know it must have been a serious consideration. The rewards was going to be a pink graceful outfit recolor, a cherry blossom transmog for the tangle root pet, and cherry tree transmog for the player-owned house spirit tree. Other things involved with it. Look at this. You get your own sawmill. You have 3 more durability, okay? And then you can make your own logs into planks, but it's slow. So instead of instantly you can make 6,700. What is it? 6,7 meme insert LOL haha. You can make like 6,000 to 7,000 planks in game right now as an Iron Man. So now I'm watching this. This is pretty intense. This idea was you now don't need to pay to do your logs. You just do them much slower. You're probably making 1,000 per hour. But part of this was that you're using a rune saw blade, and you have to buy those from the saw blade person. There's a shop, so it costs money. Or maybe you could like make your own, but it's like 100 runite bars to make a saw blade, and then you get 500 planks out of it. I don't know. So that's something that they talked about, was you're going around, you're collecting your petals, you're going back and you're brewing them into like tea or something like that. And it's just like this player-owned island. It's like an island that you can go to where it's kind of like miscellanea. You can do this along, I don't know, whenever you want. You can come check in on it and stuff like that. So this was just an idea, because they did that player-owned island challenge, and I look forward to reviewing the top 3 when they get announced and when they come out. I have a feeling all 3 are going to make it into the game at some point in some form, so should be pretty cool. But this was one that they built, so if this comes, I wouldn't be surprised either. Now they also talked about Slayer Monster Smorgasbord. They, what do they got here? So it's hard to see, maybe for you guys, but they talked about adding 3 new Slayer creatures. This one is a 6-sided die where every 20 seconds, it had a bunch of mechanics. You know what? I'm gonna skip it. Has a bunch of mechanics. You can check it out on the wiki. You look up Game Jam and you can see it. There was this druid that you can kill that turns into a demon. So Demon Bane was good. And then there's an armored troll where they talked about if you hit it with a crush weapon, it's then vulnerable to slash for the remainder of the fight. So they kind of did that with Aquanites. They made it so if you hit it with slash, then it's weak to everything else. So all right, so that's Game Jam. We talked about the Sanguinomancy. There's also a King Kayat that they did a lot of work on for this like hunter minigame, and you can kind of see like they fleshed out the whole thing about it, and it gives you some cool Kayat rewards and whatever else. So I'm all for more minigames. I think minigames are fantastic because you can just make it so it's like a 20-hour grind to green log it. It's a fun little mini game. You go in, you do it if you want. If you don't, you're not missing out on anything. You get some transmogs like the transmog for the Quetzin pet, some new armor, like stuff like that. Maybe it's like a hunter outfit transmog. Like that's what mini games are for. Just give us something to do that maybe gives us a little bit of rewards for their like nice quality of life, but just cosmetics really. So that's a lot of it. So, and I don't think there was anything else. There was. Cocoa trees and chocolate brewing. This also seems very like player-owned island esque for sailing. Give us an island that grows cocoa trees, and then there's a way of building them into your own stamina potions. Now, they did the stamina rework, so this is probably no longer needed. So maybe this just becomes a training method for farming, similar to Tithe Farm, but like different enough where it's a middle ground in AFK style. So maybe it's still around 80k XP an hour, but it's like very much more AFK than the regular method. Something like that could be good for farming. I don't know. There was nothing else notable in here, so that's it for what we know. The last one. Now, if we scroll down, oh, for sailing, I forgot to mention they're adding rubium, and it's like a gem that you can, rubium geodes, whatever. You can mine them, and then you get rubium splinters, and you put those on cannonballs, and now the cannonballs will cast burn damage, or like apply burn damage. And then chain shot, you can chain 2 cannonballs together, and it will like lock people, like it'll freeze them like a bind. So anyways, that's what kind of where they're going with boat combat, is they're adding like all those things, like add bird damage, add ways of freezing people, you know, add all that stuff. So anyways, they are thinking about refreshing Great Corrend looks. They talked about a Scorpio unique in 2024, and it said very soon, but that's nowhere to be seen. They definitely acknowledged in the blog, clear as day, that they want to change how the Tunic and Shadow works before they add any more pieces of mage armor to the game. So I do think that this might be something that comes with a blog surrounding Raids 4. If they want to add anything mage related to Raids 4, then they should tackle this Tunic and Shadow first. Just the way it calculates damage, you can't add any more items without making that thing way too OP. So, next. Bingo system was the last one that I wanted to cover. So Gridmaster was a great success for those of who played it. If not, it was just like a little temporary game mode where you just play a bingo style board where you check off all the items on the grid and then you win. They want to add that to actual in-game. I used to host bingos all the time in my Discord, and I'll probably host another one in the future, especially if the bingo system gets added in-game. So if you want to join that, you can join the Discord, link in the description. And we will see what they do with that. So if there could be, first off, I want there to be a minigame like LMS, actually in-game, where you get like 20 minutes to check off items on a bingo board. And it's just like it's like a private, you know, instanced area where you've got all these different stuff that you can get. And it'll be like, yeah, get a D-Simi, get a Dragonplay Legs, get an Abyssal Whip, get a this, get a that, boom, boom. And you're just trying to like plan your path and do it, and there's some RNG and whatever. If it's a mini game for 20 minutes, that could be fun. I don't know, I want more 20-minute mini games. I think those are the future of Old School for people gaming and stuff like that. So I might not make a video again for a little while. I might make one tomorrow. I have no idea at this point. I'm having a baby soon. Well, I'm not. My wife is. We're very excited. So Dad Flomple mode is going fully activated. First kid, so should be exciting. And looking forward to it. I will absolutely be doing some mobile raids in the hospital room. So that's that's a priority for sure. So we'll see you online for that. Thanks for checking in on the video and whatever else, and have a splendid rest of your day and year as well. And see ya.